I don't care who you are, if you think you know anywhere near all of it or like literally anywhere near it, you're wrong.
You have so much to learn from other people yet. Just trust me on that. Day 2 of our road trip. Yeah, guys, so we're just headed to Chatham now. So yesterday we were in Windsor. We got Twitch going right now, so we got Twitch in the car. We're twitching, hands-free Twitch. I'm in charge of it, so don't panic. Although Adam occasionally just likes to inflame the internet, I think.
Well, you know what? Yeah. I don't have any defense.
But, so we're really pumped. We're going to check out Chatham. I think we got about 8 or 9 firm appointments.
Yeah.
And we got one seller that's looking at selling a portfolio. So if he gets back to us, that's probably going to be another 8 properties, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8. And then he's got more that he just wasn't like really oversharing about. So like, whatever. We can check all those out. I know that we're going to see him today because he was very excited.
So I'm really excited. Chatham's a brand new market to us, so it's a great learning opportunity. I got a geo warehouse print off right now of the sales over the last 100 days. There's about just under 200 sales, huge range of prices. So lots of properties selling in the mid 90s, low 100s, a consistent price range all the way up to pretty much the high 3s, low 400,000. So it's definitely a diverse market. But what really attracts us is the low entry price point, simply because it makes meeting the 1% rule so much more practical. One thing that really blows my mind as a real estate investor is that rent prices are often quite static. So yeah, there's outliers like downtown metro areas of like Toronto and stuff. But the moment you get out of, say, the GTA in Ontario, you know, renting an apartment in Ottawa, London, Kitchener, Windsor, there's not a massive price differential there compared to, say, the acquisition price differential. So, you know, rents, maybe it'll be, I don't know, double what they would be in Ottawa versus maybe in Windsor, but it's the purchase price is going to be way more than double on the same properties. So finding these communities where the average house price is around 100,000, or where we can find consistent properties at that 100,000 price point, gives us a huge opportunity, because pretty much anywhere in Ontario, renting out a whole house for $1,000 is usually a decent proposition. So it creates a lot more potential for opportunities. It doesn't guarantee that every property we're going to go look at today in Chatham is a deal. There's still definitely a lot sifting through, but again, I'm just really excited. It's always fun to learn a new market. So we're going to obviously be hitting up our appointments today, but beyond that, we'll drive around the area. We're going to try and do a couple different meetings with local experts we know. So we're going to be meeting up with our buddy Sonny, who lives in Windsor but owns a property in Chatham and has been working in Chatham for an extended period of time. As well, we're going to be meeting up with Mike, and Mike is one of our OREC speakers. So he was actually one of our Chatham experts, lives in Guelph but has a large portfolio in Chatham and has been investing in Chatham consistently for quite a while now and doing a fantastic job at it. So we're going to try and check out one of his fourplexes, maybe get a quick tour. He's currently renovating one of the units, so it'll be a perfect opportunity for us to learn kind of what finishes he's doing on his rental properties, as well as what sort of rent he expects to get based off those finishes, based on the location. All this is just going to be great base, great foundation information for us to use. And then beyond that, what else will we focus on? We'll probably focus on, you know, I need to scrape Kijiji, go on PadMap, or try and get a real feel for the average rent. We'll probably join some Facebook communities on Chatham, figure out what their rents are, and kind of similar to what we do in London, Ontario. I pay a lot of attention to the Old East Village community on Facebook, simply because it's constantly a feedback loop about what's going on with the real estate market and rent prices in particular in that neighborhood. And so we'll hopefully find a similar environment in Chatham. That's kind of the plan for today. We're going to be all in on Chatham today. If you guys are interested in learning more about Chatham, let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, let's just jump into today's video. Just rolled into appointment number 1. I got to jump on a phone call, so Adam's going to take this one by himself. Yeah, we're there, Google. Calm down. We're good.
All right, I'm going to go walk through this. It looks like a former duplex. Woo!
So this is Chatham, #1 property we're checking out on Thames Street. We're going to get off to a good start.
Oh, it is a duplex.
Renting for $440 the one unit. Oh, $440. Crush it, man. Gonna leave me hanging, eh? There we go. All right. We'll get back to you.
Approximately 10 hours later.
First of all, apologies. This video is not the video we intended to make. Originally, our plan was...
These are not the droids you were looking for.
Yeah, so originally the plan was we were going to go to Chatham, we were going to spend all day in Chatham, and after every house we were going to check in with you guys, do a little video update, kind of explain to you what happened. So anyways, we've been in Chatham for 9 hours now. No exaggeration, that's literally how long we've been in Chatham, over 9 hours, and we're leaving it just right now. Been a wild roller coaster of a day, to be honest.
I am just shocked at the diversity of what we've seen today. It's been a lot of smells.
Oh, lots of smells.
Lots of sights.
Lots of animals.
A lot of animals.
A lot of animals.
What the hell? We saw a lot of animals today.
It's been a crazy day. We've literally seen probably some of, I don't want to say Chatham's worst properties, because like, you never say ever, but we've probably seen, if not the nicest, it's got to be the top 5 nicest houses in Chatham.
Oh man, we saw like one of the most emotional houses today, like where you can just tell like a master carpenter had put their entire life's work and attention into like, some of these finishes.
Real blood, sweat, and tears went into this. The woodworking was just, it was top notch. It was some of the best stuff I've ever seen. The landscaping was amazing. It was on a half-acre lot. Yeah, it was just like crazy, but we'll tell you guys about that in a little bit. First, let's just kind of go through in sequential order. So first things first, one thing I want to say is Chatham's got some of the nicest people I think that we could hope to meet.
Very
literally, there wasn't even a person that was mildly rude. And now Adam's just trying to make me look drunk with my camera work.
Sorry.
So, honestly, some of the nicest people. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Chatham, for being so nice to us. Thank you for being so much fun. We had a ton of fun today, too. So
we actually had so many laughs. I'm kind of losing my voice. We had a lot of laughs today. We had a lot of good times, and I think we made a few friends. Like,
yeah, actually. And so, yeah, not getting off track. Let's go in sequential order. Let's get into it. So, first property we checked out, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the duplex.
Side-by-side duplex.
Yes.
Owner occupied, one side rented at $450.
Yeah. I'm honestly struggling to even remember what that looked like.
Yellow kitchen, nice laminate floors.
Because I remember him telling me the price for the unit being right beside him, and I was just like, oh my god, that's not nearly enough.
It was really nice. It was the one that the bathrooms were both going to be replaced.
Oh yes, that's slowly making me remember.
Black leather couches.
Dude, I love your memory.
Just classic laminate, medium brown flooring. The yellow kitchen should really stick out. He was standing
the bathrooms what stands. Oh yes, okay, boom. Okay, I remember why I don't remember this one, because I was on a call for most of it. That's why.
White chain fence in front.
So yeah, that was an interesting one. I think that there's probably a deal there to be made, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the price that he's going to move at, what we kind of left him with, I would renege it just because it was our first property. Like, I don't know.
Right. Oh, right. We were talking around 175.
About I put it down 170.
Yeah.
And he wasn't moving. He's not gonna jump on it anyways. Like, the interesting thing is he's on the right side of town. He's on the right side of a street that is somewhat attractive.
And it's nice, picturesque. It's really close to the downtown.
Yeah, and it is just a generally like decent property. The problem is, like, I think he kind of was telling us some lies, and like the basement was very wet.
Yeah.
And he kept like saying, no, it's not.
Oh, right. Okay, now this property is really coming into focus. Yeah, it definitely had water issues in the basement.
100%.
He just said he was like cleaning up or whatever.
Well,
it's just like,
what he did was he poured bleach on the ground and shit to try and cover up.
And then just kind of like sloshed around a mop in the hopes. Good try, bro. Yeah, okay, sorry, I was getting that mildly confused with another one. Yeah, that one, interesting, but I don't think actually a deal. So after that's when we met up with the mortgage broker?
Yes.
And we went, so we ended up meeting up with this guy. So really weird situation, didn't know what to expect because he was like, meet me in my office. And so that kind of sounds like he's
never
he doesn't
good.
trust us.
It's never good.
He's not interested in really doing anything, but he just kind of wants to hear more. So we go into his office, first of all. Fantastic office. We can tell the guy knows what he's doing because he's really fixed up the property. And he owned both properties side by side. And so anyway, start chatting with him. Turns out he's a mortgage broker. Turns out he's got 5 full-time guys working on a renovation crew. He buys 3 to 6 properties a year himself, fixes them up, I think sells most of them, it sounds like, but kind of slow flips, if that makes sense, and then keeps a few. So cool, interesting, awesome. So then he takes us to that giant, like, it's not really a mansion, but a massive house.
Massive. And like the entrance was really beautiful. Like it had a very emotional response going into it. Like that's a great thing for a homeowner.
Yeah, it didn't really have a lot of investment potential. He'd spent some solid money on it, but the really interesting thing was, because he was an investor, and I think just his personality, he was so open and honest. So he was like, listen guys, I got this listed for like $235, but I get it, you're investors, you know, it's been sitting here for a while. One person headed, then kind of fell through because of financing, but we passed our appraisal. So here's what I'll do. If you guys can get anywhere near 200, I'll make this work. You know, I don't have a problem leaving some meat on the bone. And so what's interesting, actually, we didn't really chat about it, but one thing, maybe just as an FYI, a lot of the people from Don Campbell's sphere of influence, or RAIN, will often use that idea of leaving meat on the bone, or paying it forward to the next investor a bit. And so what they often mean by that is they're not getting greedy and trying to squeeze every penny of profit out of the deal. They understand that, like, you know, I forget, there's like a saying where like an open hand catches more than a fist does. Anyways, that's kind of their belief.
But like a good indication of how that was going was he, like, first thing he asked us is like, so like where, like what's your background? And what he was talking about was actually educational products, because he went into some books that were like just blue chip books, and then like a couple that I actually hadn't heard of, but he was just speaking of them like obviously they were biblical, and we probably should have paid attention.
He asked like what got me into real estate, and so I said naturally Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was my gateway drug,
like everybody.
And so that really just built up instant rapport with him. And then after that, he took us to a duplex. And so this duplex, I think there is a deal. I think we will be buying it. Us or someone in the network will definitely buy it. And so again, really interesting story though. So he starts telling us, hey, I bought these 2 houses side by side. They were on merged titles. It's a lot of hassle to get them separated titles in Chatham if they don't meet the minimum lot size, which this one didn't. Yet, because he's got friends on city council and stuff, he was able to make it happen. So that was kind of his big value add there. And again, he was pretty open and honest to us. He was like, man, like, you know, I've been trying to sell this duplex for $120,000. It gets $650 in rent one side, $600 in the other, I believe, plus utilities, separate metered, which is fantastic. Actually, the number of properties that were separately metered and separate furnaces.
So beautifully laid out for a rental community. What kind of sucks, obviously, is that rents are lower, but purchase prices are pretty reflective of like the 1% rule. So that was really nice to see. But yeah, the hook on this duplex, and I think why it sat so long, or as long as it has, is that the listing agent actually died. He died during the
listing,
which, like, it's just one of those things that obviously can happen.
Well, and like,
it just
the funny thing was, he got, and like, not to make fun of the situation, but like a very strange situation around the death. And so like one of those things where his file probably didn't get passed off to someone, you know, or didn't get passed off fast enough. That duplex, I think, is a deal. I'm very excited. We'll be getting it under contract shortly. So then after that,
leave a comment right now below if you think 120 for a fully rented 1% rule duplex is something you find interesting. And if you find it interesting, this one will already be sold by the time you see this video. So leave me a comment personally, just say, hey Adam, that's something that interests me, and I'll go find you another one just like it.
Awesome. And so then after that, I think we met up with Mike, right?
Yes.
So we met up with a local landlord, Mike. He was one of our OREC speakers for Chatham. So him and his wife, Michelle, they were our Chatham experts. They built up a big portfolio.
But he owns entire streets, Mike.
Yeah.
Does, so
he literally owns little streets that are all fourplexes and stuff.
And like we were touring one of his properties, one of his fourplex, which was beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, he does a great job.
We were just standing outside talking for 10-15 minutes, and like you can just tell he owns the city.
Yeah.
Because like just standing there for 5 or 10-15 minutes, like somebody walking by was just like, oh hey Mike, like we got to talk later about something. Like,
yeah.
Just crazy.
And
like,
he was saying when he goes down the one street where he owns every property on it,
every property.
that like literally he can't even get out of his car and people are already walking out. Like it's just kind of like Godfather stuff. And they're not running up to him with like tons of complaints or necessarily, but just like he's
like
also
stuff.
a very friendly guy, just
Yeah.
very nice, very just easy to get along with. So yeah. So anyways, met with Mike, chatted with him. He gave us some really interesting ideas on Airbnb. So stay tuned. We'll get into that on a whole nother video.
Yes.
I think we just discovered a whole new strategy with Airbnb. It's crazy how we're learning so much still these days.
I don't care who you are, if you think you know
Yes.
anywhere near all of it or
Yeah.
like literally anywhere near it, you're wrong.
You have so much to learn from other people yet. Just trust me on that.
And well, here's the main takeaway though: listen.
Yeah.
Just listen to them, because we were just kind of along for the ride these last couple
Yes.
of days. And I mean, asking the right questions helps, but like truly listening.
But yeah, just give those
Wow.
experts runway to talk and share, because like at the end of the day, we got to put this in perspective. A lot of people don't have the giant network of friends that I necessarily have. They're all investors that all live and breathe real estate. So for a lot of these people, you know, getting to talk to us is actually something they probably look forward to, simply because they don't have a lot of real estate friends. They don't have a lot of investor friends. And so, you know, probably their family, their spouse, their kids are sick of hearing them talk about real estate and shit. And yet we're hanging off of every word, asking prodding, engaging questions.
Well, yeah, and like actively listening, right? Like you hear a bit of a strategy and it's like, whoa, and you can apply that to things that you're already doing or heard about other people doing and really compound it and offer some advice to them as well. So it's pretty interesting.
And then so after Mike, was that the duplex, the single floor duplex?
Here's where it gets muddy for me, because we saw a lot of rapid fire properties.
Yeah, the one side was single floor, the other side was main floor and upstairs that had Kim.
Vacant.
Yeah,
and
vacant.
Guy
Yeah.
with his brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that the next one? I feel like it could have been.
The duplex we need to talk about, because it was pretty beautiful. I mean, the one side's tenanted with what looks like, I would consider them high quality tenants.
Yeah.
Their rent was
they just
fine.
moved in. They seemed great.
Yeah, the rent was fine. I mean,
They were doing 700?
Yeah. I wouldn't.
700 plus utilities. I forget, did we talk price with him?
No, he was waiting for us to come up with the price. But I think
he bought right, though, if I remember,
he
right?
bought right, so I think we're actually in the neighborhood of like 1% rule. So
I think because like
140.
if we were at 140, we'd still be at 1%, and I got a feeling 140 might put a smile on his face.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling too that you should be able to get 800 in there, and he's just
especially unfortunately for the one he rented out already. But
like that rental on the other side will be a long term. Like you increase his shit by
the minimum every month, or every year.
And he'll stay there forever and be a great tenant. So like there's value in that, I imagine.
Yeah, and it just looked like it just had the right amount of issues for me. So it had like one foundation issue, which didn't look like it was going to be major, but he was aware of it, and there's a big check mark, and clearly he's just nervous about looking into it, so he just wants to avoid the issue. Then there was a leak roof in the front, but it was just on this one addition and just one tiny piece of flat roof, which again I don't think should be a major issue, but because he's been ignoring it, it looks bad because like you can see it on the wall.
It's visibly awful, but like, end of the day, that stuff you can fix.
Yeah, the consequences for us as intelligent investors that are unemotional, it should be pretty good. So then after that was Deb. I remember, Deb, okay, yes.
So Deb.
Interesting.
We're not going to be able to get to winner's exchange with Deb because, you know, we just can't bring enough money to the table, and she seems pretty fixed on that item.
Her situation's mildly complicated. Like, she spent, it sounds like, months of nights and weekends working on it, being a weekend warrior, fixing it up. But the issue was, you know, there was no consistent level of quality through any of the finishes, and a lot of the stuff would have to be redone. And I understand how there's emotional attachment and engagement to the property, but again, us being kind of unemotional investors, we can't pay you what you feel it's worth, or just because you spent a lot of wasted time and energy, honestly.
Well, and the thing
doing the wrong fixes and to the wrong quality.
And John, if you're watching, I really appreciate your number, like his number one of his top 3 values was don't count pennies or you'll lose dollars. And I really believe that that's the case here, where, you know what, maybe she wanted to do the work for the to feel good about doing that work for herself, but what she's done is she's tried to cut costs, and ultimately, you know, it's really ruined the case for us to put money into the property.
Yeah, it just gave us no real potential there. The fun thing is, when we go into these properties and there's still no potential, it kind of takes the burden off of us, and so we can just be super honest and tell them like, hey, this is how I'd approach if I was in your situation. I'm not going to be able to give you a solution, but do X, Y, Z, or consider this. So yeah, we wish Deb good luck, and hopefully she's able to work it out with maybe a first-time buyer, because it was a very large house.
I think a family going in there as a first-time buyer was at it's a somewhat appropriate price. I think it was like $169 or something. So like a young family who maybe had a handyman or a woman in the house could make sense of that as like a McMansion style play.
Agree.
But
and then
no rental there.
So after Deb, who do you want to guess we saw next? Or did we go to the coffee shop? So yeah, so we went in.
The cork.
Yeah, hit out the. Was it just the cork or the frosted cork or something?
No, the cork.
Oh, just the cork?
Yeah,
okay.
It was at the retro.
Yeah, this really amazing hotel that was owned by like RM
Auctions, which we're about to look up, and maybe we'll.
And it sounds like they've just been purchased by Sotheby's auction house, and so like, anyways, it's like where Jay Leno, Seinfeld, like they go check out this guy.
It was like
they were saying Kid Rock was just there like a month ago.
Travolta, like all sorts of crazy big stars.
And so, anyways, long story short, turns out there's like a one-of-a-kind auto showroom that we weren't even aware of just outside Chatham. The guy was born and raised in Chatham. He now has like auction locations, like it sounds like around the world, essentially, right? It was like LA.
There's a ton of them in California, where I would just imagine a lot of those cars would sell for unspeakable values, right?
Well, yeah, the one guy was telling us like they'll sell for over $1 million car type thing. Anyway, crazy. That was fun. Then I think we then went out and checked out.
We flew over
to the nicest house in. Right? That was no.
Somehow we went to this side-by-side duplex before we actually did, because we went from coffee to side-by-side duplex. His name's Gino, and I was like, shit, Gino, sort of relate.
Maybe.
But we went from Gino's house to the nicest house.
Oh, okay, that's what happened
in Chatham.
So yeah, then we saw the nicest house in Chatham.
Yeah.
And like the funny thing was, again, it's really fun just being able to be open and honest with these people. Like the moment we didn't even step foot inside the door, I think, and you were already being like.
Maybe Matt wasn't even in the door yet, and I'm like, guys, you know what? I'm really sorry about this miscommunication, but honestly, like, we can't talk about this property. This thing is immaculate, and I mean, like, truly gorgeous.
And side note, we forgot. We'll get into it, but we forgot to drive by those two houses. There was so much going on, these guys, today. You have no idea how busy of a day it's been.
That actually sucks, because we were supposed to. Whatever, I'll just give them the comps and then tell them.
And we can street view it, But so anyways, like, Adam starts like talking to the guy, and the funny thing is, they still kind of want to chat with us.
Yeah, well, like, he was like, right away, he was kind of surprised at our ages.
Yeah.
And then surprised at like our just fluency in real estate, because he started talking a bit about it. And, you know, I started noticing these very subtle but like just absolutely incredible features. Like the mantle was just like unheard of woodworking, and you know, there was marble transitions between the flooring, all beautiful hardwoods.
And like for context, this is like retired older couple, empty nesters. And the funny thing was, they've been like putting on additions and fixing it up, a beautiful metal roof. You know, when you walked into it, my natural assumption would have been they wouldn't have necessarily planned it the way an interior designer today would plan it. And yet, it was brilliant. Yeah. Every component was so well thought out and just beautiful, and like so those sort of things where they had an amazing, beautiful backyard, beautiful pool, waterfall thing going on. And I'm gonna go with the word opulent here. Yeah, because this that's appropriate. Was opulent. Oh, and then like not even talking about like the antiques and collectibles they had. Oh man, and they had these thematic artifacts everywhere. Yeah. Like there's a very heavy and subtle at the same time, like Asian artifact thing going on, and it's just like really subtle, beautiful pieces and a bunch of very fine china pieces everywhere. And like, damn it, this place was cool. Yeah. And I just loved the design aspects and like the intricacy and handiwork and craftsmanship just like shone through. One of a kind. Anyways, so much fun. He gave us like a personal tour of the house, and we just got to kind of let his personality and his hard work shine. Yeah. And he could just really indulge us and explain. On the way in, I noticed that his truck had said his last name and then properties, essentially. Yeah. So I said, hey, like, you know what, like, I really don't want to waste your time. And this was kind of during our intro, but I noticed that your truck said something properties. And I said, so, you know, like, do you own other properties? And he said, oh yeah, like we've got, you know, he mentioned a few other rental properties. And so I said, you know what, that sounds quite a bit more like our wheelhouse. And that's kind of how we broke the ice. And he's like, oh shit, like, you know what, this is a great discussion. And then that's when we got the walkthrough. So pay attention to your details. Yeah, so important. And just being nice and friendly and like, there's something very disarming about open honesty. Yeah. Honest. Like when it's just like, because like we could have bluffed or pretended like we knew what's going on. And then so the funny thing is then he's like, any ideas? And so like then we're just playing the crazy game of we're like, man, we've pulled the sales for the last 100 days. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that matches your house. Nothing comparable. But at the same time, we're going to try and pull some more comparables for him and just try and help him out because he seems like a great guy. We gave him our best marketing tips. We said we probably wouldn't get a local realtor. We'd try and get out of town realtor from a large city that maybe has a client pool that's looking to retire and move to a more slower paced environment where they can stretch their dollar further. You know, they sell their $1 million or $2 million house in Toronto, come and spend, I don't know, $750,000 in Chatham, and then still have their entire retirement fund available for them. So, okay, and then after nicest house, what did we do? Yeah, so after nicest house... I don't think we immediately then went and looked at worst house. No, there was a lot between there, but certainly in between and very much worth talking about. So worst house was before this guy. But we went and saw another large single family, or was it a duplex? Which one? Oh, it was a single family because it was the 85 and a half. Oh right, with Vinny. Yeah. And so like another great guy. Very nice guy, and like just interesting story and a really interesting property at what sounds like very much the right price. Yeah. So there's a deal to be. And like again, we learned his backstory, and so he's got like a metal plate in his knee, and so climbing the set of stairs he currently has is too much hassle for him. So he's looking for a single family house. Funny thing was, he currently has a roommate as like a mortgage helper, and we're like, man, what if we buy the duplex with the vacant unit, get Vinny to move in there? We think we could get Vinny to live for free. We might set this guy up with a house hacking situation. He didn't ask for a house hacking situation, but I just can't help myself. I know. I don't know. But it's a cool opportunity to help somebody who like doesn't necessarily know what he needs to know. We have that information, but we also have the other side of the story too. Like, we can buy your house because it's at the right price, but like, wow, what an opportunity for you to live for free and really change your life. Like, it feels like a really interesting opportunity for us to make some fun win-wins. I hope it works out the way it does in my head. So then let's talk about the really cheap house. So so some illicit botanicals. Oh yeah, so I've never seen this before. We could lead with that. Yeah, so like backyard just filled with pot plants. Just pot everywhere. And it's nonchalant. Like, it's legal now in Canada, but based on the size of them, He started growing it before it was legal.
Those puppies aren't fresh. Those are. Do you see the stalk on that?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, I'm talking.
Was
like,
it the one that was off by
shifter.
itself? Yeah.
Yeah, it was as thick as the shifter right at the bottom.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Daniel.
Yeah.
Because they grow like tomatoes. That is an established tomato plant.
Yeah. And so yeah, that was funny. Checked out his house, very small, very dated. Tiniest bedrooms in the world. You have room for your bedrooms and that's it. Like, you'd have to have the door open out if you wanted to have a door on the bedroom, because you wouldn't be able to open the door and have a bed in that room.
Long story short, we offered him $75,000 cash, and I think he's gonna take it.
Yeah, and yeah, at the same time, we learned his backstory. It sounds like it's gonna work for him, right? Like, he's got
lights on.
If it's not too distracting.
That's horrible.
Okay, we'll just stick with this. I think we're giving valuable enough content that I hope you guys don't care about necessarily the light quality here. But yeah, tons of opportunity, and I think we're going to make it win-win. He owes like $30,000 on it, and he just wants to have some money to use and go forward.
It's done.
All right, I didn't figure out the lighting. My bad. Blame me. But anyways, it's getting really dark. We've been talking for this video is probably going to be a half hour. I think it's worth it. If you guys are enjoying these longer videos, comment in the video section down below. Let me know, because I really appreciate it. As well, if you want to see more of this sort of content, let us know. But so let's quickly just try and fire through the rest.
Yeah, let's.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's at least fun. You guys can look at the nice evening sky. So then, we're so out of order at this point. I'm just gonna start naming houses.
Yeah, shit. All right, mom and daughter house.
Yeah.
Though.
So, massive house.
Former duplex.
Yeah.
To start.
I guess it looked massive. It wasn't actually quite as big once you got on the inside. The upstairs wasn't, but just like
the exterior was gigantic.
Yeah. Essentially like a hoarder situation. Extreme hoarder.
Extreme smells.
Yeah. A lot of animals. I hate when hoarders have animals, man.
I think I saw like 4 or 5 cats.
And the cutest dog.
They had the cutest damn.
Do you remember what the breed was? Literally,
I don't know.
I'm not a huge I'm not a huge animal person, pet person.
Say that on the internet.
But come at me, bro. Come at me, internet.
Yeah, leave your comments below.
Man, this is going to be the most downvoted video
share.
I've ever got. Yeah. Turns out this was the video that goes viral. Matt McKeever hates animals.
Matt McKeever, definitely Android.
Yeah, but this was the cutest puppy. I've never seen anything like it.
I was actually upvoting
that puppy,
for
we should have just like started. Yeah, okay, we'll buy that puppy just so that we can use him for social media.
Literally.
We will literally buy so many more houses with just this puppy wants to buy your house.
Can you imagine?
Can you say no to that puppy?
Honestly.
You can't say no. Man, we should have taken some photos of it.
For me, my family, my puppy.
Yeah, if you won't do it for me, if you won't do it for Adam, if you won't do it for yourself, do it for the puppy. Let's make a deal. Damn. That's some Grant Cardone there, in case you guys didn't realize we're channeling our inner GC. Yeah. So okay, that property interesting. And then like if we end up around the 120 price range or something, like there's some interesting potential there. But
just because it's a massive shell.
Yeah.
But like they even said it would be vacant and like empty at 120. I don't believe that to be completely real.
Yeah, that's honestly would be one of my variables, because like very easily you could spend 5 to 10K just not even like making anything nice, but just emptying the house and emptying the backyard. The backyard was just so overgrown. It was a freaking jungle, guys.
They had 6-foot weeds in the back.
And not the weeds that this guy was growing at his house.
No,
these were just real weeds.
This shit, just like an Amazonian.
It was like
horrible.
In a few more years, like literally the forest was going to reclaim this.
And then low key, just like a very well kept Mustang in the garage that didn't have an opener, and she had to force it open.
Very strange.
And so like, what is going on?
And you know, we won't get too deep into it, but they were telling us about some changing demographics in the area, which was very interesting. We're going to do some really more research before we
fact-finding,
jump to conclusions, but
we
weren't able to cooperate. How does that word work?
I think we need to skip that word.
Yeah, okay. It's been a long day, guys.
Corroborate?
Yeah, it sounded like that. Let us know in the comment section what word are we trying to say. Then what other house?
You know what's funny? At the start of the day we said, I hope it's not contagious.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Full circle.
Oh god. That is full circle. That's what we call a callback.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Okay, obviously there was the lady we just saw, but was there anyone else before her? I don't know, it's getting so dark. I'm just going to say that we'll talk about this one more property. We've almost guaranteed we forgot one or two.
Yeah.
But, so then we saw Erica.
Erica, yeah.
Just really nice single mom.
Yeah, she was great. I mean, hardworking, supremely passionate about her house.
She's been
vision.
slowly fixing it up, kind of piece by piece, dollar by dollar, working extra shifts, trying to save up the money.
Yeah.
Bought her house for $60K. She probably, I don't know, she's put a lot of money back into it. You know, I don't know.
I respect the hustle.
I respect the hustle.
I can't compensate it because it's just the wrong timing and the wrong deal.
And she's made a few decisions that, like, technically, if you were looking at trying to maximize your ROI, maybe weren't the right play. But really awesome to get to meet her. Really awesome to hear her story. Again, we just try to share her marketing tips and how we approach, you know.
Well, I think she actually took a lot away from us, just being totally honest about how we would approach.
Like, we made a new best friend.
The future, yeah.
But the cool thing was, she works for a local company, and they do a lot of, like, cable and internet stuff. And so we're like, hey, you're talking to a lot of people that are moving in and out of places.
Yeah.
We buy places. We don't think we can buy your place at a price that'll make you happy, though. So how about you just pay it forward by hooking us up whenever you find a cool opportunity? And
she was just so happy because of the rapport and, like, the openness we had. So, like, we didn't even go into, like, the potential monetary benefits of doing that with us. But you know what? It's like you go in, you're open, you're honest, you tell people what they need to hear.
Yeah.
They're willing to move.
And so, like, again, like, one of those situations where probably her friends and family are sick of hearing her talk about her renovations.
Yeah.
And we're happy to listen. We're happy to give our input. And and I think she just really enjoyed having us around. So that was fun. Yeah.
And she certainly, like, put us up on a
pedestal,
higher pedestal. But I mean, at the end of the day, maybe something we said will help her in the long run.
Yeah. Well, it's getting super dark here, guys. Appreciate those of you that hung in throughout this entire video. If you hung in through this entire video, I'm guessing you got some value. So smash that like button. Please at least consider sharing this on social media. Sharing's caring. It is one of the only ways I get new subscribers and new views, and that means a lot to me. It also means a lot to my cameraman, who would like to get paid, and I pay him based off my YouTube ads. So he needs money, guys.
Share it.
Right?
And comment below if you're interested in hearing more about properties like this.
Or what we're doing in Chatham.
Find them. And I'll tell you that, you know, I was shocked to see what we saw today in a good way. So
absolutely.
Let us know. Let me know. My handle's Adam JD Martin. You can find me on Insta. If it's not already in the bio below, give Matt some heat right
Actually,
now.
I'll start adding it. There's no excuse for it. And otherwise, just smash the like button, subscribe, share, all that cool stuff. But until next time, remember, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money in this world for us to all make it. But if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point, guys? Thanks. Bye!